Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Junkyard Digs. Today we're taking two three-wheelers, the Honda 125M and the Honda ATC 200 that we revived in last week's video, out on a river run for about 2.5 miles of what's going to be a great time, I'm sure of it. If you guys missed last week's video, the link's right here. I would suggest watching that, where we get these suckers running after pulling them out of a shed in a barn where they sat for, if I had to guess, the 125 was probably 10 years, and the other one I think sat for about 3 years.
It was crusty.
I got my buddy John here with me today, and we are ready to go tear it up on the river.
Hell yeah.
First things first though, we need to change that lawnmower tire. The last step before we hit the river this morning is to switch the front tires between what is now, I guess, the parts machine and this 125. We did this so that we're not trying to steer with this flat lawnmower tire, because that contour is really hard to steer. On these machines, they like to be bulbous up front so that you have a small contact patch, and it helps you turn a lot. So we're gonna throw this on and hit the road, but not the road, hit the
trail.
Hit the trail.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed that one. It was right in front of me.
Let's hit the river!
And with that, we set out to explore nature on a couple of machines that have been parked for years. And of course, about 8 seconds later, the 125M showed us why that was. That didn't last long. What happened? I wonder if transfer case is being used. Oh. Apparently, the 125's transfer case is not very fond of doing 35-mile-an-hour low gear, so it decided to just get stuck between high and low and jam up the transmission. Uh-oh. Did we just lose this trans? But there's nothing a little bit of shock therapy can't fix, and once again, just smashing on things prevailed. Oh, there it goes. It was stuck between gears. I guess just keep her in high for now. We'll see how far we get. In no time at all, we found ourselves ripping across the frozen Iowa cornfields on the way to the woods. See if we can get yours to go into low gear.
Yeah, it's,
damn.
And then also when I was going into, like, fourth, it just,
Oh yeah, let's go back to neutral and see if we can get you in low. Okay, try that. Into gear. Oh, hell yeah, we're good. So the transfer case just got stuck.
I'm glad that was the only thing, because I was like, God damn it.
With the 125 shifted back into low gear, John was finally able to get some RPM out of it and have some fun in the snow. Meanwhile, on the 200, the crappy aftermarket carburetor was starting to show its face, and I was having issues with low-end torque. Thankfully, once you got enough RPM into the engine, you could still throw the back around just fine. Three-wheelers are dangerous!
Man, this one keeps
jumping
out of gear.
These 120, I've heard these 125s have really bad transmissions, and now I agree.
Like, I'll be going, and all of a sudden it'll just rev! High rev, because there's nothing against tension in it.
Despite all the engine noise and transmission issues, the 125 was still proving to be a capable machine in the snowy woods. Hell yeah, Denim Dan. You know what? $250. Sat for probably 10 years. Out here ripping around the snow with literally all we did was a carb. It's out here whooping ass. That's a Honda for you.
And you're not even leaking.
Nah.
Oh, never mind. take that back. You're leaking.
Is it leaking?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, we got extra oil in the back.
Yeah, we're good to go. Get her, sir. By now, the 200 was showing me that low range and a properly operable carburetor were both very important for spinning tires at low speed. Thankfully though, the absence of those items didn't really seem to affect its wheelie potential.
Three-wheelers are dangerous, they say. If you ride them dumb, they are. But if you know what you're doing with your body and your weight, where your wheels are, your weight transfer and speed, don't go beyond your limits. They're the same as a four-wheeler, but way more capable in the woods, way more nimble.
I mean, I guess that works.
Just having a hard time.
What gear are you in?
That might help.
Yeah.
I'm not good at wheeling.
Let me give her a go. Here's the trick to wheelies, kids. Take your calves, put them right here, lean back. All my weight is on my legs. Of course, the plastic's kind of big. And the throttle.
This was very early in our ride and you can already hear the rod knocks setting into the 125. It's fine. It's a Honda. Just keep going.
Maybe that's just a tall guy thing. Oh, there he goes. There it is. Bonk. See, John just flipped this and he's fine because he was doing 2 miles an hour on flat, level ground. Where you get hurt on these things going backwards is if you're going up a big hill you shouldn't be on and you lose throttle control and they go over backwards, because then you got, just like any machine, four-wheeler or whatever, you got to go 180 degrees before you hit the ground instead of just 90. All right, let's hit the river.
Always tie your shoes, kids.
Safety first.
Once we got to the riverbed, we gave the ice a quick check to make sure we were good to go riding. Even if we did fall through, the river's so low this year, it's about 4 inches deep.
Now remember, kids, the river's never a safe place.
All right, this is the same spot that me and Derek got stuck this summer when we did the first three-wheeler revival.
The shift patterns are different. They gotta screw me up.
If you guys don't know who John is from previous videos, I can bring you up to speed in about 3 phrases: denim jackets, vintage snowmobiles, and PBR. In other words, he's scared of nothing, which is not exactly ideal when you're romping around on three-wheelers.
You mean like that?
Yeah, that's what you don't do. Oh, you light. I saw it coming. I didn't really want to say anything. I just wanted to be like, well, this will make a good example. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You got out of the way. So.
I did.
All right. I'm going to take that same hill you just did.
But only with an experienced rider.
And half the speed.
Smart.
And a quarter of the throttle.
If you haven't already noticed from his throttle patterns, John's been riding two-stroke snowmobiles his whole life.
Correct.
I thought I'd hop on the three-wheeler and give it a fair shot at the hill. It was right about here I realized exactly how worn out this poor 125 truly is.
Get out of gear.
Oh, good noise.
Ooh.
That's a new noise.
That is a new noise.
I don't know if we got much left in this one.
I don't think so. I might have killed it.
Well, whenever one's making noise, just got ate by the gears. It's gone. Do it. One more.
Determined to make it up, I decided to take one last stab at it. You can already see where this is going.
Pure ice! I didn't get hurt by the machine. I crashed because I stepped off of it, where it was more dangerous. I got mud in my butt.
Oh God, no. It looks like you,
How did we even make it that far? That is so slippery. Again, if you're dumb and doing stuff you shouldn't be, that's when you get hurt. With any machine.
Dissatisfied by the fact that I still couldn't make it up this hill, I decided to give the 200 a try.
I have a theory. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, what did we just learn? Tire size and machine size are critical. So trying to make it up that hill, I just realized something very important that's put something into perspective for me. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Fort9, absolutely check it out, by the way. It is a beautiful YouTube channel. Ryan's voice is very soothing and mystical. The cinematography is amazing. The editing is flawless. These guys make some pristine, top-notch videos. You can check it out right here. There's a link. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, they just put out a video talking about three-wheelers and how they were banned in the 80s, specifically 1987, the last year for any three-wheelers in America. Fort9's usual formula for videos is to start with all the cons and then move into the pros, and by the end of it, you want whatever it is they're reviewing. But for whatever reason, in that ATC video, there were very little pros, if any at all. Now, I watched that video and I was just baffled by the fact that they were getting thrown off this thing. It wasn't making it up hills. It was just kicking their ass, and they were getting hurt by this thing. Like, what in the hell is going on here? But now I've realized what's going on. They had one of these. They had a small chassis 110 and 125. Today was the first day I've ever ridden one of these because it's the first time I've ever owned one that ran. This thing's terrifying. It is so small and so narrow and square and heavy that when it throws itself in any direction, you're pretty much going with it unless you can weigh more than machine by a chunk and throw it off to the other side. Like, look how hard I have to get this thing up. Where my 200, it's nearly effortless. They're balanced, and they have front suspension. So now I understand. Albeit the smaller three-wheeler, the 125 is a death trap. This is what you want if you're an adult-sized rider. Moral of the story, Ryan, I get it now, but you need to redo your video with a 200. Specifically, if you can find one, a 200E that's got, electric start, headlights, racks, and high-low. Or even better, maybe an 84 200 ES, which has all that shaft drive in reverse. I have some. Call me. We can come play. Here's the perfect example. So John just tried that on his, rolled, almost died. We're gonna throw him on the bigger frame bike, and I bet he's gonna be just fine. Oh, that's another thing I should mention. When you guys are riding up hills, do this. So that if something goes wrong, you're already halfway off the bike. You just hop off and you're fine.
And if it's gonna come back over top of you,
Get the hell out of the way.
just get out of the way.
Just roll.
I tried pushing that thing back down and
Nope.
it was no bueno.
You got bonked.
I got bonked on the head. I'm okay though. There's got to be something else that's gonna kill me. A three-wheeler ain't that.
Three-wheeler's the least of our worries. This doesn't prove my point. I don't know what will.
Close, so close.
It's all ripped up now. That is ice and mud, and this thing's still going up it.
But seriously, night and day difference.
It's not even scary anymore.
This thing, like, yeah, no, way better, way easier to climb. I mean, these big tires help more.
It's just so much more stable for some reason.
It really is.
And they weigh, I don't think they weigh much different.
No.
Like, that thing's way heavier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, when we were loading it. Do you
Yeah,
remember when
I was
we were
like, what
loading
the
it?
hell? I thought this would be easy. Yeah, feel how much more effort it takes to, and then it's just gone because it's so narrow.
Like there's a tip point, and once you go past it,
It's
like,
game
you're
over.
going. Well, I made it up the hill.
Is there a tree up there?
I found a tree.
She did her though. We've done our off-road comparison. Now it's just down to durability. Which one of these clapped out Hondas is going to go longer? They don't smoke anymore.
I think they don't smoke anymore because they don't have any more oil. Or at least this one I don't think does.
That could be. You don't need it, but you know.
It's a Honda.
Oh, I lied. They still smoke.
An hour into our trip, and both us and the three-wheel death machines had remained unharmed despite taking a couple falls. So we decided to celebrate with some donuts on the ice.
It'll do that, it'll live forever.
You're good, just a stick.
After a couple long nights getting these machines running, it was borderline therapeutic to be out here ripping around in the snow on a beautiful Iowa day. Sometimes you just need some throttle therapy in life. And sometimes you use a little too much throttle during that therapy.
It's ice. It's ice.
John's mullet was starting to recede back into his hairline, so obviously we had to give him a chance to rip some donuts in the snow. Last thing you want to do is lose your mullet.
Now,
Blast.
say what?
This thing's a blast.
Yeah, that's a good machine.
Yeah, at least we're out here having a good time. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been cold as hell in Iowa. We got a good, beautiful, balmy 36 degrees today. Freaking heat wave came through. We're on probably 10 inches of ice in a 12-inch deep river. We're good to go.
Get a little throttle therapy in.
Oh, we needed it. For getting our ass kicked by that thing all weekend. Do you want to take that one? I'll take the 125 to the next spot.
Hell yeah.
It runs like a Honda though. Back on the gutless death machine, I was quickly reminded why I preferred the ATC 200.
It's getting a little thin over here. Just so those in the river crossing.
Set it down. I was gonna go help you.
Got it. Is that low range? That is low range. God, this thing's just disappointing. I really started this video with high hopes for the 125M, but turns out M stands for mediocre at best.
Woohoo! In hindsight, M probably stood for might still have 45 psi of compression left. Either way, it soldiered on to the next fork of the river, where we found lots more open water in which these old Hondas love to play.
You guys want to come along?
Oh, son of a bitch. Damn, this thing's starting to run worse and worse. This is why, if you have the original Honda Keenan carburetor on one of these, do not get rid of it. Rebuild it. It's so much better.
By now, both of our machines were definitely starting to show their age.
Does not like gears.
That thing is a pile. God. I think he's in third again. Is it not staying first?
Huh?
Does it pop out at first?
Yeah.
Oh, science.
It's been popping out of first, fourth, and sometimes even second. It doesn't like it.
So third's the way to go.
This thing's been
Beat.
beat to hell.
Yeah.
In the winter, I do not usually ride the river because of the threat of falling through the river and dying. Yeah, like that hole right there. But this year, we had such a dry summer. This is only about 10 inches deep in the deepest spots. So it is pretty damn safe to be out here for once. When the river's high and it freezes, you will not find me out here. Hell no.
It was almost as if the river heard me say that, because the next section had the most open water we had to cross yet. It turned out to be some weird combination of slush and water on top of the ice, so I had to use my machine as the icebreaker to make a path across.
Alright, well, you made it across. I guess it's my turn.
Despite being the smaller machine, the 125 actually proved to be better at this because I had a low-range transmission. However, by now, the 125 on the side cover no longer stood for the displacement of the engine, but rather the decibel value of its rod knock. The transmission had about had it at this point as well.
There it is, the last big shore. Think you can make it? Come on, old Honda. Oh, piece of cake.
Another thing I'm noticing is I've developed a bump where in rotation I go, wait.
Oh, we're both stuck suddenly, just like that. Yeah. Que paso?
Die.
Uh-oh.
El muerto.
El muerto. Did it die or did it just stall?
It died.
Like dead?
We'll find out.
Oh, that's fine. What even is dead? What a gutless, dangerous pile of triangle.
The more I ride it though, the more I kind of get used to it.
Oh yeah.
And liking it a little bit more.
Until you ride this one again.
Yeah, until I ride that one and then I'm like, holy crap, that's a difference.
We're almost there, I can see the bridge.
You gotta throw one hand up like you're a bull rider.
After 3 hours of hard riding and abuse, nevertheless 34 years prior to that, the 125 made it all the way to the bridge. Ta-da! Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We did her.
You know, not gonna lie. Surprised these things made it this far.
Yeah, I am too, actually. It's kind of been a whirlwind of, I don't know if we're going to make it all the way this whole time, but we did. So I guess that's a testament to old Hondas. There we are. We made it. About 2.5 miles up the frozen river. Beautiful 36-degree day here in Iowa with a couple of old Hondas that haven't ran in years. I'm actually surprised this one made it. Both the fact that it's here in one piece, still operable, and that the rider is still alive on this thing in one piece and still operable.
Yeah, this one's burning a lot of oil, so I'm surprised it made here as well.
As long as it's still burning, it's still got it, right?
Right.
Good. Unfortunately for the 125, the thing about going somewhere is that you have to go back, which means we were only halfway done. Oh yeah! All right, risky move. John's gonna go back to high for the drive home because it's all cornfields. Will it do it?
Yeah, it did.
Sweet! Oh, hell yeah! Come on! Alright, let's do it! Smooth as butter! The butter had rocks in it. Seeing an open road, I decided to crack the 200 open, figuring John would be right behind me. Let's see what she's got! But of course, when I looked behind me, there was no John. In fact, he was pretty much still where I left him. Oh, John's not on his anymore. Of course. A big cloud of smoke. John, what happened?
So, I was coming around the corner, and all of a sudden, it was doing that high rev popping out of gear thing. I was in second going through, and I shifted it back up, trying to get it back into second, and when I did that, it just went, and then before it died, it just started making all these sounds, and I was like, yep, I think I killed it. I think I finally killed
a Honda. Well, let's just let's throw some oil in it.
I'm one step ahead of you. I already put a little bit in.
Oh, did you? By the time I got back, did you do this?
By the time you got back.
Oh, you have done this.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that was blazing hot.
Oh yeah. I mean, she was just like, you could fry an egg on that thing.
Oh.
Here, let me put my dipstick back in.
Oh yeah, probably a good call.
I have my doubts. Let's just put it at that.
You can't count them out until you give them the 10 count. They keep going until then.
If not, she can always be towed.
Yeah.
Or just leave it here, stick a for sale sign on it.
This is 2 for 2 that we've done a 3-wheeler revival video, and on this stretch right here, high speed coming home,
We seized the three-wheeler. I might need some choke A.
Well, let's check the main obvious thing.
Yeah, is it out of gas? No.
Oh no, she's got fuel.
Just keep ripping on her. She'll come to life.
Dude, the valves. Oh my god.
Oh. No. Maybe not. Thought I heard something. Pop, pop.
She ain't dead.
Oh, ow. My arm will be.
Come on, girl. To life with you.
Oh,
It didn't want to come off throttle.
that's what I was wondering.
This basically went on for about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to skip to the end.
We might have to count this one dead.
That's a rip.
Man, I've done nothing but eat my words this episode.
Oh.
Honors are
Three-wheelers.
immoral. Actually, if we probably would have stopped to put oil in it, it'd still be junk, but it'd still be maybe running.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know though. There's still oil in there, so I think it just
I think it's done.
done. Yeah.
Dude, this thing was clapped when we got it. She is Dunzel, Washington. Alright, I'll get the strap. Leaving no man behind, we hooked the 125 up to the 200 and towed it home through a river. Alright, see you in a mile. It went pretty smooth, but I will say I've definitely had easier recoveries. The snow makes things a little difficult to say the least. Traction was the name of the game, and I only knew one way to get more traction. It took a little while, but we eventually made it to the entrance of the river, which, if you remember, is a big hill.
El Stucco.
Damn, this one's gonna be fun. Since we really didn't want to push it up the hill, we thought we'd try one more time to see if it would start.
There's no way.
If this gets me home.
There's no way. Okay. Don't count her out yet, folks.
Come alive, baby! It's alive! I don't think it's got power.
I don't think it's got power anymore.
I'm gonna pull this.
Yep.
You pin it to win it until you're home.
Okay.
Ready? A little too much. So it turns out it revs way higher than I ever thought it would. Dynamic compression is the name of the game. Okay, that might have done it.
That killed her. Oh? I'll be damned.
No!
I don't think she's got.
She can do it! There's so much blow-by coming out of something in here.
Oh, I see it.
I didn't know these could make blow-by. Oh, is it a head gasket?
I'm not gonna have him shut that thing off.
Sure enough, once enough oil got on those piston rings, that 125 was able to make it all the way home. It just goes to show how well designed these machines really were. The dependability of an old Honda is still in my mind unrivaled to this day. So what if the ATC is not the safest machine? That'll be the last thing on my mind when we're riding these things after a nuclear apocalypse, because they still run. There's pretty much three things certain in life: death, taxes, and that old Honda in the back of the barn would fire right up if you threw some brake cleaner down its throat.
Idles. There's so much smoke coming from right here. Dude, I can't believe this. I'm gonna fly up there and store it. Go to sleep. You guys heard it. You guys heard that when John sees in the field and he pulled over. It was like, I want to die. That's what it said. Nope, it's fine.
These things are made with like magical dust or something that just keeps them running forever.
I'm sure once it sat and cooled and we were able to get oil throughout it, those rings probably just got dry. They got lubed up, sealed again. She runs like we never took it on the river.
Let's see if can you fire it up again?
Can I? I don't know, can I?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Now we will end the video with the knowledge that 125s are tippy and way harder to control than the larger 185s and 200s, and that they are for sure made by a Honda and immortal. I didn't eat my words at all. This actually came through with flying colors and proved my point in the end. So ladies and gentlemen, there it is. That's gonna do it for the 125M revival here on Junkyard Digs. If you guys liked, make sure you subscribe down below, turn the bell on. Check out John's channel, links right here. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you subscribe to all of our friends: Junkyard Mook, Thunderhead 289, Classic Mustangs 429, McCool, Deboss Garage, Vice Grip Garage, and Cars and Cameras. We'll see you guys right here next week on Junkyard Digs. Peace.